You're listening to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, created to help you succeed in your Server Plus certification journey. Learn more at baremetalcyber.com, where additional prepcasts, books, and training materials await. Let's get started. Documentation is an integral part of the troubleshooting process. Without it, valuable lessons are forgotten, successful fixes cannot be repeated, and incidents may recur without warning. Proper documentation creates a reliable trail of observations, decisions, and outcomes. It supports transparency within the organization and ensures that teams can collaborate effectively. The Server Plus certification includes structured documentation practices as a key component of troubleshooting and incident response. Good documentation includes more than just technical notes. It must contain a clear problem statement, a timeline of actions, supporting evidence, and a summary of the resolution. Documentation should be written in a way that both technical and non-technical audiences can understand. It must also be stored in systems that allow version control, access auditing, and secure long-term retention. This ensures that documentation can support operational, compliance, and training needs. The documentation process must begin as early as possible. As soon as an issue is observed, technicians should begin recording symptoms, scope, affected systems, and environment details. Starting early ensures that nothing is forgotten and that the response effort can be reviewed later. Templates or structured ticket forms should be used to standardize entries and avoid inconsistency across different team members. Most organizations use ticketing systems to manage documentation. Tools such as ServiceNow, Jira, or Spiceworks provide centralized platforms where notes, approvals, logs, attachments, and timelines can be stored in one place. Each ticket should correspond to a single issue or incident. These tools also support visibility, allowing different teams to track progress, add updates, or review resolutions as needed. User input must be documented with precision. This includes recording the exact language the user used to describe the problem, the time they noticed the issue, and any screenshots they provided. Information about the user's environment and ability to reproduce the issue should also be included. This user context is often helpful when trying to recreate the problem later during verification or testing. All troubleshooting attempts must be documented thoroughly. This includes each test that was performed, the tools used, the expected results, and what actually happened. Failed attempts are just as important as successful ones. Documenting the full process supports post-mortem analysis and helps identify what methods worked and what did not. This also builds institutional knowledge and accountability. System logs and diagnostic output must be archived as part of the troubleshooting record. These include log files, performance graphs, command line output, and application error messages. Logs should be redacted if they contain sensitive data. References to the logs should be included in the final incident report, making it easier to locate supporting evidence in the future. Resolution steps must be described clearly and concisely. This includes what actions were taken to resolve the issue, what was modified, what was restarted, and how success was confirmed. If scripts or configuration files were changed, the updated versions should be linked. Before and after screenshots or command outputs can serve as helpful evidence. Documentation should reflect both technical precision and readability. Every interaction and communication should be logged. This includes who was involved in the troubleshooting process, when each step occurred, and when escalations or approvals were made. If change management or compliance rules applied to the fix, those records must be aligned with the troubleshooting documentation. A complete communication history strengthens transparency. The final step in documentation is closing the loop. This means verifying that the issue has been resolved, capturing user confirmation if needed, and attaching the root cause analysis summary. The incident should be marked as closed in the system. Affected teams or stakeholders must be notified that the issue has been resolved, and follow-up actions must be assigned if further tasks are required. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Once the documentation process is complete, the records must be stored in accordance with the organization's archiving and retention policies. Incident logs, configuration changes, and post-mortem summaries must be retained for the time period defined by legal, operational, or audit standards. Logs should be stored in secure systems that prevent tampering, unauthorized deletion, or revision. Retention timeframes may vary depending on the type or severity of the incident. Documentation should also include lessons learned and any follow-up actions required. This involves recording what went well, what should be improved, and whether any process gaps were identified. If the incident revealed training needs or procedural updates, these should be scheduled accordingly. Lessons learned should be added to standard operating procedures or included in team meetings to ensure continuous improvement. Standardized troubleshooting templates improve the consistency and quality of documentation. These templates ensure that all required fields are completed, including incident start time, affected systems, resolution method, and test results. Templates also reduce variability between technicians and make reports easier to review. Using forms consistently also improves searchability and trend analysis across incidents. Metrics gathered from the documentation process can provide strategic insights. Data points such as time to detect, time to diagnose, and time to resolve help organizations identify performance trends. Tracking repeated issues or long-term problems can support decisions around staffing, training, or infrastructure investment. Incident metrics also demonstrate accountability and help improve support operations. Protecting the integrity of documentation is essential. Sensitive records must have controlled access, especially if they contain passwords, infrastructure maps, or user information. Tools should include audit trails that track who viewed or edited documents. Configuration files and scripts must be version controlled to ensure accurate rollback and historical tracking. Unauthorized edits or deletions must be prevented to preserve the accuracy of the record. To improve operational visibility, troubleshooting documentation should be integrated with configuration management and service management tools. Incidents should be linked to affected assets, services, or business applications. The state of the asset may need to be updated in the configuration management database. This integration supports lifecycle tracking, dependency mapping, and SLA monitoring. Sharing documentation across teams turns an isolated incident into an organizational learning opportunity. This can include internal memos, wiki entries, or scheduled briefings. Knowledge should not remain locked in individual tickets. Summaries of incidents, root causes, and prevention strategies should be communicated broadly. This promotes a culture of transparency and learning rather than reactive firefighting. In conclusion, documentation is not an afterthought. It is a fundamental part of successful troubleshooting. Without it, fixes lack context, problems repeat, and teams miss opportunities for growth. Recording what was done, how it was done, and what was learned transforms short-term recovery into long-term improvement. In the next episode, we begin exploring predictive failure analysis and early warning signs for anticipating problems before they happen. Thanks for tuning in to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, your trusted source for cybersecurity news and insights. Remember to subscribe at baremetalcyber.com so you never miss an update. And visit cyberauthor.me for best-selling cybersecurity books that equip you with expert knowledge. Until next time, stay secure and stay vigilant.